Today's video, I'm going to talk about personal responsibility and how it applies to manifesting your dream life. Stay tuned. Without personal responsibility in your life, you are a victim to your circumstances. And victimization and victimhood takes away your personal power. And I'm pointing down to my solar plexus right here, where it comes from. That core center, that place where all of our power comes from. Victimization blocks that. It's through personal responsibility where we understand that we are the key player in our lives. We are the main actor. And it's nobody else's responsibility but our own for how we show up. It's nobody's choice but our own for how we choose to react. If we choose to react in anger, it's coming from a place of self-righteousness. Like, I deserve to be treated this certain way, and because you didn't treat me this certain way, then I can blow up in your face. Yeah, I mean, you have every right to be angry, but what you do with that anger is really, really important. And what I've found working with rage, with my own self, with my clients, I hold a retreat called Rage Release Retreat. And what I'm finding with the rage is that it's hiding deep within us the knowledge and core wisdom of our power. So if we don't go through our anger and we don't experience that shift within us, then we'll never know the wisdom that rage is trying to teach us. And anger is often what happens when we are feeling victimized, when we are feeling like we have no choice over the matter, we didn't choose this. And it's true, there's probably maybe 5% of the things that happen in our life that maybe really literally have nothing to do with our state of being. You know, there's circumstances that just happen. But for the most part, everything in our life has to do with a certain state of being. It has to do with how we think about the world, what we believe about the world, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about how others will show up for us. And all of those beliefs, they combine to create a state of being. And from that state of being, it's like a pool. It's like a pool where all of life is coming out of. And everything that you think and believe about the world comes from this state of being. So it's a self-fulfilling circle. What you feed yourself in the pool, in the water, is what you get back into that state of being. Taking personal responsibility doesn't mean that the other person that may have caused harm to you, that they're somehow vindicated and they're okay. That was like not okay if they did something harmful. But what it does mean is that you are now holding yourself upright, and you've learned from the wisdom of the rage. The anger is teaching us something. And if we don't listen, it's just going to get more deeply embedded into us. And it's tainting the water. The water is like mud and murky and full of toxins with that oil spill look on the top. You know, it's just like spreading through everything in your body. Because it turns into bitterness, passive aggressiveness, self-righteousness, and all of those things that we hold within us, they dictate how we show up in the world. So if I'm a victim to my circumstances rather than taking personal responsibility for my circumstances, then I'm going to show up with this kind of attitude, with this kind of air of bow down to me. I deserve you to treat me this certain way, and because you're not, I'm going to be passive aggressive, and that's not going to get you what you want. And how does that apply to the law of assumption and manifestation? Well, our power, which comes down from our center, bubbling up, is taken when we don't take responsibility. Our power is put on a sick leave. And when we take personal responsibility, it comes full force back into that cosmic awareness. And the cosmic awareness is where everything is creating from. So you see, when you're not taking responsibility, when you are feeling like a victim, then you are cutting off that conscious supply of infinite creation. And you only know this until you practice it. Like I could tell you, go sit down, release your anger. But you only know if you practice this. And so here's some tools. This is what I go through with my clients. This is what I practice with the Rage Release Retreat, which is coming up in December, for those of you who are local. And what I've learned is that when you release this and you come into a place of forgiveness for yourself and for everyone, that you stand up more upright, that you know that everything you've created in this world is your own doing. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because it's like, oh shit, if I would have been this way or that way, this might have gone differently. But it's all perfect. It's all in perfect timing. And the sooner that you can forgive yourself for the way that you've shown up in the world and the way that you've held yourself, the quicker that you will find the peace that is beneath this rage and this anger from not taking responsibility. Like, if someone, for instance, like with a specific person, say they're not showing up in your world the way that you want and the way that you know that you deserve to be treated like a queen or a king or goddess or whatever people say, and they're not showing up that way. They're reflecting to you what's going on in your state of being that caused them to not show up that way. So it's like you should be saying thank you to them. Thank you for showing me how I've been showing up in the world. Because anyone who has self-respect wouldn't put up with being treated less than the way they deserve to be treated. So if you don't have self-respect, there you go. There's your place to start. So here's what I do, what I've done with myself and what I do with my clients is, what is this person reflecting to you? What is this person showing you? And you could write it literally. This person doesn't think I'm worthy of their time. This person makes me feel like I don't even exist, when I am around them. When I'm with this person, I just feel really insecure. I feel insecure when I'm with this person because of the things that maybe they say. Or you just go through this list, and what you're going to discover is that all of this has been happening within you, and this person is just reflecting to you all of these things. Thank you, person, for reflecting to me all of these things so that I can take a look at them and change them and rewrite them in myself. So I take personal responsibility for how this person has shown up in my life, because, oh wow, I feel this feeling in me as I'm reading this list of things that this person is reflecting to me, and I feel really deeply insecure, actually. I feel really unworthy, actually. And so those existed there before. This person is just triggering, this striking a chord of something that already existed within you. So how do you address that? Well, first you acknowledge that you feel that way, and then you allow yourself to experience what that feels like. Allowing, knowing that this is part of the process, feeling insecure, and then without judgment or shame, thank yourself. Thank you for showing me exactly where I needed to love you more. Okay, so you feel insecure. You feel not worthy. Write out a list of why you might not be worthy of being loved and adored by your person. Why are you not worthy of having your dream relationship, the money that you want, whatever? And what I found with my own self was that I didn't really even like myself. There was things that I was wishing that I had been doing my whole life, and I hadn't been doing them my whole life, and I just was like, where am I? My path that I should be on, I know is not should be, but could be on, is over there, and I'm over here in these spiky bushes, you know, like stuck in this thorn, and it's really easy to once you see it, like, oh, now I'm just going to spend the time to improve myself. How do I keep improving myself? That's the key. That's the ticket. I keep improving myself till I like myself. And if I like myself, then I'm going to know that I'm worthy, and then I'm going to feel confident, and then people are going to reflect that to me. So if the world is still reflecting to you from your old state of being, you know, don't throw a fit and say this isn't working. Just know, again, this is a changing of guards. There's a new outfit I'm putting on, and I have to get used to how it fits. That's it. Let it be. Keep persisting in that knowing, and keep taking responsibility for everything in every way that it's shown up, because then your personal power comes back online. Then you feel this surge of confidence from your hara. Strong. You have to have strength in this world. You have to have a knowing, and that comes from faith. And that faith comes from personal responsibility for everything. You can have faith in that. You can have faith in knowing that you do have control over how you perceive the world. But it just takes time, it takes a little effort. You gotta go into that closet that you haven't been into in 20 years, take a look at all the shit that you stored in there. Okay? And if you need help with that, I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm a coach, I would love to serve you. There's a link in the bottom about more of my services. Just contact me, we'll do a free 15-minute session, figure out how I might be able to help you. Okay? Let this video take you to the place that you need to take. Do the work, practice writing this stuff down. It works. Okay, I love you. Mwah.